Welcome to the Free Your Spirit podcast. My name is Louise Wilson. I'm a mystic, healer, entrepreneur, and business coach, and I am obsessed with helping you open up the lines of communication with your spirit so that you can receive the wisdom, the guidance, the clarity, and confidence you need to reach your big goals and dreams. Hey there folks, and welcome to episode 8 of the Free Your Spirit podcast. I'm excited, as always, about this week's episode because last week I promised that I would dive more into the mechanics of manifestation and how you can start to work with the laws of the universe, work with the laws of attraction, and make those laws work for you so that you can start to manifest your best life possible. So let's dive right in. So again, just going back to what is manifestation? Well, manifestation is the phenomenon where something that existed once in your imagination is actually actualized into reality. So it's where the process of your thoughts being transmuted into physical matter, or a term that you will often hear, it's how our thoughts create our reality. So what I want to talk about today was the science behind the laws of the universe and the laws of attraction. So Einstein, super clever guy, he actually conducted studies of energy. And what he discovered and demonstrated was that energy and matter, so physical matter, so energy and physical matter are one and the same thing. That is what the equation that he sort of demonstrated meant. E equals mc squared. So energy and matter, they're one and the same thing. So how is that? Well, if you were to look at matter or a physical object underneath a microscope that was strong enough, what you would actually see is a whole bunch of vibrating atoms. And if you were to break down atoms, there's a lot of empty space. Atoms in reality are 99.9999% empty space. So they're actually more nothing than they're actually something. So this empty space is what's commonly known to and referred to as energy. And that is what Einstein meant when he said everything is energy. And so scientists then went on to study energy. And what they discovered in their studies was the thoughts that they were actually thinking at the point that they were studying the energy were actually impacting the particles of energy and the movement of energy. And so this is where physics and science actually comes in to reinforce those age-old timeless principles and laws of the universe whereby our thoughts create our reality. Scientists proved that as they studied energy, the thoughts they were thinking were actually affecting the energy particles. And so our thoughts create our reality. Now, what's super interesting is that I'm going to hold that juicy bit for a little bit. So coming back then to the principles, the timeless principles of the laws of the universe and the laws of attraction, Matthew, in Christian doctrine, Mark 11:24 said, "Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours." This is really, really important here. The part that's super important. Believe that you have received it and it will be yours. So if you believe that you've already received something, you imagine how you're going to think and feel, this state of lack and fear. So what he's saying is believe that you've already received it. So you actually have to kind of almost move into that forward state of being, that you already have that which you want to attract. And this kind of hopefully you can now see the correlation between what Matthew is saying in those universal laws. And what Einstein, from a physical, scientific perspective, said was everything is energy. And if you can match the frequency of the reality that you desire, you cannot help but get that reality. This is not philosophy. This is physics, right? So science tells us or reinforces what Mark said. Believe that you've received it and it will be yours. So it's like being in that, the frequency that Einstein's talking about, and I will come back to this in the podcast, is about already being in that state of being, that you already have the thing that you want to attract. So these are the mechanics, right, of the principles of the universe, the laws of attraction, and how science actually reinforces these laws, the laws of the universe and the laws of attraction. So I actually want to share with you, there's actually a document here, and actually it was Catherine Zenkina that I learned about this document from. She's the manifestation babe, but she actually referred to these CIA declassified documents. And this is pretty amazing because actually this document, they're talking in this document about the gateway process, which is, I don't know if you guys know about Robert Monroe. Really interesting guy. I think in the 50s, he was a journalist. I think he was a journalist. He discovered, well, he had this ability where when he would fall asleep, and those guys that are listening to this, I know a lot of you are really interested in working with your dreams, which is the work that I do. But Robert Monroe, what he discovered was when he would fall asleep, he had this awareness of his spirit leaving his body. And spirit vibrates at a higher frequency, so spirit can move through walls and the whole thing. Like he could do extraordinary things. If he wanted to go visit people, he'd go visit them. And they wouldn't see him, but he could see them and he could remember the conversations. And he actually did a lot of work to document this process of his spirit leaving his body. And he has a whole process called the gateway process. He's done a heck of a lot of research about this. And so these declassified documents that the CIA are talking about is actually referring to this gateway study. But anyway, what they say is patterning. This is the technique that involves the use of the consciousness to achieve a desired objective. It's a methodology based on the belief that the thought patterns generated by our consciousness, our inner state, in a state of expanded awareness, creates holograms which represent the situation we desire to bring about, and in so doing, establish the basis for the actual realization of that goal. This is what we're talking about. And perhaps you can see too how visualization is a really important part of the manifestation process. This CIA declassified document goes on to say the technique of patterning recognizes the fact that since consciousness is the source of all reality, our thoughts have the power to influence the development of reality in time and space. Well, isn't that freaking amazing? I mean, have I convinced you? Do you have enough data, scientific data, to really embrace the fact that these universal laws, they're very real, and our thoughts do, in fact, create our reality? Now, a lot of people ask me, when he said, match the frequency of the reality that you desire, and you cannot help but get that reality. I did demonstrate how Mark said, believe that you've already received it and it's yours. And what they mean and what Einstein means about matching the frequency is that everything's energy, we're energy, and so we're actually vibrating at a particular rate and level. And if you're going to match the frequency of that which you want to attract into your life, what he's talking about is your dominant energetic frequency, which is related to your inner state, right? Your inner state of being determines your frequency. So when we talk about an inner state of being, I'm talking about your dominant thoughts, beliefs, emotions, attitudes, identity. This is your inner state of being. And even if you think about your emotions, Fear is a lower vibratory frequency. Joy is a much higher vibratory frequency. And that's what you need to do. If you want to manifest something, you have to already be operating at that frequency of the thing that you want to manifest. So I hope that explains Einstein's theory that match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. This isn't science. This isn't philosophy. This is science. And then Matthew, therefore I tell you that whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you've received it and it will be yours. So just really leaning into the feeling, right? It's all about how it would feel to have that thing, the emotions that you would feel, and experiencing those in real time as if you've already received the thing that you want. Moving on then, our thoughts create our reality. Maybe you know about the book The Secret. It tells us think positive thoughts and you're going to manifest what you want. But here's where it gets a little bit complex, because the internal state that I just talked about before, it refers to our beliefs, right? And identity, emotions. But here's the thing about our beliefs and our internal state. We have conscious beliefs, the beliefs that we're aware of, but we also have subconscious beliefs, right? And as you've heard me talk about, the conscious mind is 5% of our operating power. It's our go-to vehicle. It's what we use for the most part. We're always thinking, doing, right? The subconscious actually is 95% of our operating power, maybe even more. And so our subconscious, if you think about all the things that we do in a subconscious, unconscious way, like breathing, regulating our heart rate, you can see how the subconscious is so powerful. So here's the thing about that internal state that I was talking about. If you consciously have a conscious belief, you want, but at a deep subconscious level, you have a belief that you're not worthy of that, or you don't even believe that it's even possible for you. Whatever the subconscious belief is, since the subconscious is 95% of our operating power, that subconscious belief is going to automatically cancel out any of the conscious belief work that you're doing to bring that in. So this is where it gets challenging for us to manage our internal state, because the subconscious, it's subconscious, right? It's beneath our conscious mind. We're not consciously aware of those beliefs, and that's the kicker. That's such a bummer, right? So this is the work that I get so jazzed up about, and it's the work that I love to do. And I work with my clients to help them uncover those invisible blocks, those subconscious beliefs, to slip with the work that we do. We slip beneath the surface, or my clients, I guide them to slip beneath the surface of their conscious thinking mind to understand more what's going on really at a subconscious level. So you might say, well, Louise, how could I know that I have a subconscious belief that I need to deal with? Well, it's really easy. All you need to do is look around you now. And if you don't have what you want in your reality, then know that everything in your reality, as Einstein said, is a reflection of your inner state of being, right? Everything that you see around you is a reflection of your inner state, your inner beliefs, your conscious and subconscious beliefs. Just look at your environment. Your environment is a direct reflection of your inner state of being. Our inner environment creates our external reality. So what's the deal with our subconscious? Well, here's the deal with the subconscious. You'll wonder, well, how do I get my subconscious beliefs? Well, our subconscious is programmed in our early childhood, especially early childhood years from 0 to 7. As young kids, we're like sponges. We're absorbing so much of everything that's going on in our outer environment, social world. And if as a young child you were exposed to beliefs that you have to work really hard for money. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money's hard to come by. Or if you think about relationships, or even if you were told you'll never amount to anything or you're not good enough, then that becomes in sort of like you absorb that into your subconscious and it becomes a belief. Because as kids, we don't know, right? We believe everything that we're exposed to for the most part, right? Because we might have a sense that something's not right, but we absorb that belief, right? And it becomes a subconscious belief. But here's the thing, and I work with my clients at a present life level to do that subconscious work, but we also have deep subconscious beliefs that at an ancestral level. And here we're talking about beliefs that aren't even yours. They're your ancestors. You didn't formulate them, they did. There's been a lot of study around epigenetics and how our environment can actually impact us, impact our DNA and the genetics. And they've done studies to show that Holocaust survivors actually carry within them the trauma of their ancestors. It's passed down through the ancestral line. So now you have a whole bunch of subconscious beliefs that aren't even yours. That is like, and again, this is the work that I really love to do, working with my clients at an ancestral level to give them the tools so that they can actually start to uncover those invisible blocks at an ancestral level that are keeping them stuck and playing small in life. And then if you also, again, we're talking about those unseen beliefs, the invisible blocks, we have a past life history because we are infinite, immortal, spiritual beings. So now you could have a whole bunch of past life beliefs. I work with healers, and this is a big one. People that feel so passionate about their healing work, but struggle to bring that work into this lifetime to make their business super successful or to be visible. Number one, you need to be visible. And if they've experienced or are holding within them trauma related to a past life where they were persecuted, maybe even burnt at the stake. Can you imagine? Like, it doesn't even fathom thinking about. But that is a traumatic event, and it's in our energetic field. And so you need to do the work to release it. Because if there's a part of you at a deep, deep, deep subconscious level that doesn't believe it's safe for you to be visible in this lifetime, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to remain invisible and you're going to keep self-sabotaging yourself, maybe without even realizing, because you could be doing all of the things but still not getting traction. And this is the work that I absolutely love to do, to work with my clients. And I have a super powerful masterclass. This is such a beautiful, powerful process because I have a half-day masterclass, and it's so amazing because in the space of just a few short hours, working with my clients in that masterclass, you can actually get profound clarity, number one, on what it is that you truly want and desire, which is hugely important in the manifestation process. Because if you're confused, the universe is confused. So you have to give the universe specific instructions. But clarity is so important. But the beauty of this masterclass is that we're working at a soul level. So you're actually getting clarity around your soul's desires and wishes, which is profound. And once you have clarity, you can work in a more clear, structured way with the universe to bring that which you desire into your life. But the other powerful thing about this masterclass is it also allows you to uncover the invisible blocks that are standing between you and you manifesting the life that you truly desire. So I work with clients, at a very, very deep present life, past life and ancestral level. But the beauty of this workshop is it's an opportunity to work with me just for a few hours and get tremendous clarity, hugely profound. And I'm so excited because I do have a masterclass coming up. If you head to my website, you can find all the details there. It's on the 28th of March. But yes, you can just head on over to louise-wilson.com, the Work With Me page, and you can find all the details of that masterclass there. Clarity Now, it's called. But it really is so profoundly powerful because it allows you to communicate at a very deep soul level with your soul to get clarity and to also uncover those invisible blocks, which, as you now know, hugely important piece of the puzzle when you want to start manifesting stuff that you want in your life. So coming back to the principles of manifestation, just one last thought to leave with you is that, if you think about it, our thoughts create our reality, and every single day, putting it into perspective, we have there's been studies of this, 12,000 and 50,000 thoughts a day. We have between 12 and 50,000 thoughts a day, and guess what? 80% of those thoughts from studies have shown to be negative. So we really have to do the work, folks. We really have to kind of get on top of our conscious mind, subconscious mind, get our internal state of being, raise that frequency, get it into a place where it's matching the reality of what we want to create in our lives. And that's the goal. And so next week, I want to talk more about how we can what the work that we can do to actually start to uncover the invisible blocks, but then, very importantly, to start rewiring our brain, rewiring our subconscious, because we need to get it on board. We've got to get the subconscious in alignment with our conscious desires, wishes, and dreams, because that's the key to you being able to manifest your best life possible, to be able to manifest all of your goals, wishes, and dreams. So next week's episode, we'll be talking about the anatomy of our beliefs, how we formulate our beliefs, and how we can rewire and reprogram our thinking to help us manifest. Alrighty, folks, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. If you want to leave a review, that would be awesome. Feel free to reach out to me directly. I always love hearing from you. And the more feedback I get, comments, then the better able I am to keep on bringing the good stuff your way. Alrighty, folks, sending so much love and many, many blessings to you. And I shall see you in the next episode. Bye for now.